nourishing for everyone. Pretty efficient. So yeah, Friday, April 9th. Welcome to our communications circle call. Thanks for the live stream, Lauren. Okay, so I would love to do a centering practice with everyone. I invite you all to close your eyes for a moment, and we're going to just center and ground in with 3 long, deep breaths first. So you can begin with me in deeply, slowly through the nose, and like an audible sigh out through the mouth. Another breath. And keeping your eyes closed, I'd like to share an inspirational quote of the day for us to contemplate. What is it that determines the quality of your consciousness? Your degree of presence. So the only place where true change can occur and where the past can be dissolved is the now. That's by Eckhart Tolle. Learning to live in the internal present, releasing the unreality of past and future is a potent way to awaken the self. Practice listening impartially to the voice in your head and be aware of recurring thoughts and patterns. Is there a tendency to worry, to judge? Does sadness easily arise or never? What about anger? Do you feel put on, a victim of bad luck or unfair circumstances? Don't judge or condemn your thoughts, just notice them. Be aware of body sensations. Feel where the body is tense and where it is relaxed. What causes this to change for you? Notice that there are thoughts, feelings, and body sensations, and that there's awareness of thoughts, feelings, and body sensations. This is awareness of the self. Notice that the self is unlimited and free, spacious and clear, unbounded and infinite. It is who you are. It resides in the present moment when the mind is still and the body is relaxed. So I invite you to just take another long, deep breath in. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes again. And we'll just do a quick check-in. Can be a word, can be a phrase, but I just invite each person to take up to a minute to just kind of say how you're feeling. And if you have any insights or experiences since our last communications meeting that you'd like to share, this is the time. Anything you want to share to be fully present and resonant with the group now. Who would like to go first?
I'm feeling good. The weather's getting really nice here, so I'm looking forward to getting some of that hopefully later this afternoon. I feel like in general, a lot of our things have been stuck on waiting for development. And so this week I felt like has been a lot slower for me. So trying to figure out how I can help and move things along. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Thank you, Mitch.
I am feeling pretty low energy today and trying just to take more time than normal for self-care. As far as communication stuff, one thing that I want to focus on is creating like a nice flow for feedback. Like I know right now we're expecting users to create GitHub issues, and I'm hoping to kind of create some sort of feedback collection, categorization, prioritization sort of flow going forward, and trying to explore like what's the best way to do that. Yeah, and also just kind of getting back in the loop with what's going on with the circle since I've kind of been out of it. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Thank you, Ashley.
Oh, do you want to go first?
No, I was just thanking Ashley. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, I feel like the days go by really quickly, and I have like all these things I'm trying to do simultaneously. So it's like nice to take a moment to like ground in and center. So I really appreciated the centering. And for like communication stuff, yeah, I'm just working on trying to like get clear on like who's getting the airdrop and like what I should include in this like kind of like airdrop launch piece. And I was just doing that before this meeting, and then also just like going through our memes for what we have for givebacks. We actually don't have that many memes about givebacks. Just saying. I only found like 2 pretty solid memes about it, so it's something we could consider to meme more. Now that we're going to be getting ready for launch. Yeah, I'll pass it back to you first.
Okay, thank you. Good observation, Lauren. Yeah, today I'm feeling productive. I was really grateful for the overcast weather. So it was cooler today, and also got this sweet fan in San Isidro yesterday. So I'm feeling like much more comfortable in my outdoor office space. And yeah, it's really cool. A few of the things that you guys brought up in your check-in, I feel like we actually have agenda points to address those things. So I hope that this call today will be what you're needing, so that we can all feel like, yeah, things are flowing a bit more. So to get right into it, our purpose for gathering, the first one that I have here actually directly addresses what you brought up, Ashley, and that is receiving feedback and creating an upcoming features list. So a few days ago, I synced one-on-one with Danny, and we talked about, this feedback that people are submitting as they're testing, and they're submitting as they're using the new platform, and creating the GitHub issues is kind of like a little bit technical for some people. So we talked about like wanting to gather feedback from the dev sprints, and I thought this could maybe be something that you support with, Lauren, because you're kind of like in a lot of ways like liaison between communications and between the more like technical development stuff. So if we could understand like what are the key features, functionality, and issues that are on the devs radar as things to possibly work on as the next upcoming stuff, and then like putting that into just a simple features list, and maybe having the devs order what they feel is the priority. But then before we just have them run with that, like as a communications team, how can we create a Google form for obtaining feedback from people that use the Giveth.io platform? And it not just being like a blank form where it says, okay, like, how'd it go? Give us your feedback, because some people might not even give feedback because they're not even sure like what kind of feedback we're looking for. So if we could give them some like suggestions or questions to prompt them. And one thing Danny and I talked about is like giving them from those features that the devs are considering, maybe give them like a few features that we're considering, and ask the user to select what's most important for them. So we can have some like hard data on, well, this is what we think, but what do people actually want? And then, we as a communications team and maybe governance can kind of review that and make a decision on what to focus on, which will also then inform, the direction and priority of our upcoming content pieces and like the things that we can let people know, even in like those updates Lauren is doing at the end of the sprints, where it's like, this is what we did this sprint and this is what you can expect, like the cool new thing we're working on next sprint, you know, like we can keep everything more cohesive. So yeah, I'm just curious what you guys think about that, and if there's other things that you would want in the form.
So my plan is to kind of come up with a way that we can like embed that form within the app itself rather than just using a Google form. And I think I can do that using Typeform. And we can have a different sections, like, are you providing feedback? Are you reporting an issue or a bug? Are you suggesting something? Is it like a design issue? And I think that through that we can actually trigger GitHub issues to be created through the form in the correct repos for what they're focused on. And then I can go through and kind of like monitor the issues that we're getting and the feedback that we're getting. And if there's any decisions that need to be made, bring it to the governance call. And yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm envisioning.
So splitting it between the different repos, like between coordination and development, or
yeah,
like
just
communications.
like depending on which category their issue would be directed towards or whatever. Like, say they want to suggest a new feature, we could have a specific section for that. Or if they're reporting bugs, then that would probably go to the dev repo.
Or what if you could just, instead of using different repos, like you could just fix labels on them, like how issues could have labels? Because I don't think those repos exist yet.
We can trigger that, or labels. I'm not exactly sure what all the possibilities are, and that's what I'm going to start researching. Like, what can I do with Typeform and GitHub together, and like what would be the best collection process for this feedback? And then we can like kind of categorize it and figure out what's priority, what's not, what needs decisions, what doesn't. Okay.
Yeah. I would say my only thing would be less repositories, the better. Yeah,
that's kind of the idea, so that we're not just cluttering the whole dev new issues board with all these random feedbacks.
That's really cool if Typeform is so integrated with GitHub that we can, trigger those things to happen. I love it. Are there other questions or like sections that we would want, to suggest to kind of like point people in the right direction? What do you guys think about, what Danny and I were suggesting, which is having like a drop down also of like, here's the features we're considering, like, please check the ones that, or like select the number one in your opinion, or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Or, just give them some things we're thinking about. Are those also important to you? Or, if not, what did you have something else in mind? We can definitely make it robust, and Typeform has a lot more features than like Google Forms. So depending on people's answers to certain questions, we can populate different questions.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't mean to pigeonhole us by putting Google Form. It was just kind of like what I've usually used, but that sounds great. Awesome. Do you need anything from us, or do you need any like support in some ways to get that form going?
Not really. I want to do some personal research first, and then maybe reach out to like Kai or somebody who would like know more how I could make it interact with GitHub, and maybe James or somebody. I'm not sure, but I want to do some personal research first, and then I'll reach out to more knowledgeable people and see like kind of how we can mesh it together, and then I can like come back before we actually implement anything. But.
Okay. When draft form ready, share with comms team for approval. Cool. Sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's going to be like a game changer. Okay. So then the next thing I have on the agenda is that the whole like fiat integration thing seems to be kind of blocked by the need to do research on solutions. I know this isn't really exactly a communications thing, but the devs are kind of strapped with some things, and like it would be awesome for them to focus on doing what they do best. And I'm curious if anyone has done much research on fiat integration, like the various solutions that are out there, or has a desire to read more about that would like to just spend some time like reading up on different companies and like articles and like looking at forums and stuff and seeing what seems to work well, and then basically just sharing that with the dev team because it might help nudge them along.
The other day, I pretty much spent the whole day researching options. I looked at like probably nearly like 50 different options that we had, and I posted in the Dev2 channel like I think 5 or 6 of them that I thought were good for our use case. The thing is like at this point, I don't know code wise how that would integrate with our app, and I don't have that kind of knowledge. So
Yeah,
I put those out there and like suggested that the devs look at them to see, you know, what would work for us. And Willie kind of responded, but nobody else really said much. But there's at least like 6 different ones that aren't already in our Notion document that are in the Dev2 channel on Discord. It's just like my level of expertise. I don't know how it would integrate with our code, whether that API would work, or whether it's exactly what we're looking for on the technical side of it.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for that. Do you know, is there a GitHub issue specifically for this that also maybe you could like post what you posted in Discord to the GitHub issue and like tag the devs to see if maybe that gets more of a response from them? Otherwise, I would say just we could bring it up on the next dev call or community call. I could put it in the agenda.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we could do both, and I'll go through and look at the issues and see which one. I think there's a few issues about fiat integration, so I'll see which one is like most relevant.
Okay. Cool. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so then this brings us to website flow. So, you know, historically, I feel like our circle has been doing a lot of focus on like external content pieces and like writing articles and social media. I know we've done some documentation stuff, but for sure, a big part of communications is how are we communicating on our main piece of presence, which is our website. So I think it would be really great for us who are maybe not in the weeds as much as the dev team to really take a look at the website and see, you know, how do we want to communicate things to users? Like, are the tabs that we want to have? I mean, Danny and I were talking about it, and we thought it was kind of weird that there were only 2 tabs on the website, like join and something else. And then when you go to the bottom, that's where there's all these like other links, but they could be organized in a different way. So there's a GitHub issue here around the tabs sub-organization, and you know, we have a couple options and more options beyond just what I've outlined here. But we could make the page more informative and have like the FAQ and about us and those different like resource docs that are super helpful, more obvious, like at the top. I think Danny had a community tab link added to the top, but right now when you click community, I think it just brings you also to the join page. Another option is like when you have community for it to have a drop down with sub tabs. that we can add that says like FAQ about us, docs, or like resources. You know, or we can just create a whole community page that people scroll through. So these are just like some things to think about. I mean, I think I'm gonna maybe share my screen with the website, or maybe I'll stop sharing my screen so I can take notes, and someone else maybe wants to share their screen and go to the Giveth.io page, and as a team we can kind of look at it together with our fresh eyes and just say like, yeah, how if I was a user, like how would I want this organized? Is everything that we want to have there? Are we like getting across the main message, or are you left with any big questions? Because really we can have whatever concept and organize this in any way that we want, and then basically like share our ideas with Marco and get his review and design input, and then pass it on to the devs for implementing.
So are you talking about the tabs at the top where it's home community projects? Is that the tabs you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, oh, I see what they did. They replaced join and they called it community now. But there's still just those. And then if you go all the way to the bottom, that's where there's just like some other links. But like, for example, all the like document stuff and the like wiki, it's kind of buried. It's not in like a really easily accessible place. And we do have a lot of like helpful documents and stuff. So like it would be nice to be able to navigate to some of those things, I think, from the top. Maybe have like a resources page or something where there's like the wiki and the docs and the whatever.
Personally, I kind of really like it streamlined with not so many
What do you guys
things
think?
at the top, but that's just me.
Well, you can have sub-tabs. Like we don't necessarily have to add a bunch of tabs to the top, but we can like have them more organized. Like, what does community mean? You know, if I just saw community without clicking the page, I'm not sure I would be like, maybe that's social media channels, maybe that's, I don't know. And it's like there's projects. So when you click on projects, like it would be interesting, what if projects was a drop down and it was like donate or create a project?
I don't know. I think I'm with Ashley on this one, that the flow is supposed to be simple, and like it does seem mostly obvious, like what they are. I would say, like, if anything, like at the top have a link to the documentation or the wiki.
Well, and the other thing is, like, when you go to the community page, to the Join Us page, it's not like very long. So you don't have to scroll down very far before you see all the other things down below, where you see, like, you know, the facts and the docs and the wiki and all that stuff. It's like not too hard to find when you're on the community page. It's a little like buried on the home page. But...
So when we have, yeah. So when we have the how-to videos, for example, when those have been created by Calvin, where will those go?
I think that they should be like linked to the things that they're about. So if it's like, you know, how to create a project, then it would be like under create a project, and then there would be like a how-to video for that. If it's a how-to video about how to make your profile, then it would be like in the profile area or something like that.
And it could be just adding in another little card there in like the bottom right, or, you know.
Yeah, kind of like when you're creating the project, it's like, do you want help? We have a guide to creating like a really awesome project. Here's a link to the guide, you know, so like in the appropriate section that you're interacting with.
On that community page, what I noticed is missing is, oh my God, Griff is wearing a mask. What? On those cards there where it says like Telegram and whatnot, it's kind of empty. Like if you go there, it says Discord, join the Giveth community. Like we could fill in something a bit more interesting there, I think, than just
Yeah.
those generic messages.
Yeah,
I
we could
totally
say
agree
something
with
about like
that.
the community calls and like, yeah, we could definitely make
Yeah.
that more robust.
Like
Or
link
we
to
could
the
just say,
Google
like,
Calendar.
Yeah, or we could even, the Google Calendar would be nice, but also in these sections we could talk about like what we use these for, you know? Like Discord, this is where we have most of our conversations, you know?
Yeah,
Like
and
GitHub. Yeah, like where it has for like GitHub here is much better than join the community on Discord. I'm not even in the Giveth Telegram.
yeah, I was like, damn, we got
I didn't even know
Telegram.
that was a thing.
Like we should put the Twitter there. Twitter there, Medium. I think that's more important than the Telegram.
Well, I mean, they are at the bottom. The Medium, the Twitter, GitHub, Reddit, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
Kind of
But if
stuff.
we're gonna have a page dedicated to it, just
Yeah.
throw them in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, we could. It just then also gets really cluttered, but I don't know.
I mean, like in place of like Element, like I don't think anybody here is using Element.
I know.
And Telegram, like 3 of us just said we didn't even know it existed. So it's like, we can replace those
the
with
Telegram's
things.
pretty cool because it bridges to the Discord. So like anytime somebody messages in the Telegram, it goes into our general channel. So anytime you see like the little bot thing next to what people are saying, it's because they're responding on the Telegram group.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the very least, like we want people to be interacting with their Twitter. So I think it won't hurt us to be redundant.
Or take away Element and put the Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I would think soon.
What is this? Yeah, and it would be good. I mean, I think the Medium's also good because that's where we kind of post like that we're using more actively now to talk about like new things coming out that's like more exhaustive. So maybe it would be better if it wasn't so buried. We could like bury Element and like make Twitter and Medium more known.
Yeah.
Facebook can stay down there.
Yeah.
We have a subreddit too.
It could also be like the part on the homepage where it has like the blogs, that are the most recent blogs, like maybe something like that.
You mean like here?
Mm-hmm. Like when you go down and there's like, the most recent blog posts or whatever.
Oh yeah.
There.
Oh wow.
Forrest dropped, huh? I just saw she rejoined.
No.
I thought she. Okay. I guess one of us should plug in some notes here.
Can I just do a time-dependent interrupt? Because I actually I'm double booked for this meeting, but I missed the previous call that the timing didn't work out for me. When were we planning on rescheduling that, and is there anything else you guys need from me before I start getting the meme party going?
Oh, the project verification thing. That's what he's asking about, Ashley. Oh,
yeah. I don't think it's been rescheduled yet. Sorry.
Griff, you're not available on Sunday, right? No, yeah. So maybe like on Monday. That's what we were talking about.
I think we're willing to like work around your schedule because yours is the hardest to kind of like put this in.
Yeah, especially next week, which is really too bad. I mean, there's no chance that we could do it tonight.
I'm open.
Because tonight is really my best time.
I don't know what everyone else's availability is, but me and Ashley are available.
I mean, I'll be around like later, like maybe in 6 hours, 7.
Well, it's more about like going through the verification process for the project and stuff. I don't know. I think as long as we get the 3 of us there, me, you, and Forrest at least, and then whoever else is available, like we could just start with what we have. I mean, we only have 5 to go over. It's not going to take us very long, and it's going to help us at least get an initial idea of what it is that we're doing.
Cool. Yeah, I'm free in 2.5 hours for 3 hours.
Okay.
So 4 Mountain or 4:30 Mountain? Either one works for me. Ashley, do you have a preference?
Yeah, it worked for me. 4:30 is fine.
Okay, cool. I'll say 4:30. I'll just move our call time over right now. Cool.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm really sorry about that.
No worries.
No, it's okay. We were kind of slow at getting it all together, so.
Sorry
Cool.
that my connection dropped and then I rejoined like a few minutes ago. I just want to make sure I'm tracking everything. Mitch, you were talking about.
I just put in 2 lines there.
Where?
Oh, where did I plug it?
And
Oh, I see. Under either.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm such a prima donna. I kind of need to drop to this other call. Do you guys need anything else from me that I can support with? Okay. Thank you guys.
We love you.
Thanks
You're
for stopping in.
Yeah. So cute. Just like drops in, changes the schedule, drops in. It's so cute because Griff is like such a humble, nice person.
Totally. Okay, cool. Were there any other things that we wanted to share or comment on around the website? Just want to make sure I'm tracking everything.
Is there already a GitHub issue? Is this the one that's referenced here, the 752? Is that talking about this?
That's talking about, yeah, that's one Danny created about like reorganizing the tabs.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This is FAQ is lying.
I definitely
That's not the
everybody
issue.
to review FAQ before we made it live, so I don't know.
I mean, it didn't really seem like a big...
Those were the kind of questions that I didn't know the answers to. I'm like, is it actually 501c3? Is it not? Like, do we have the documentation? You know, what is it? Because with SDG Impact, I'm not sure all the ins and outs. But anyway, yeah. So
yeah, it's an aggressive title of a GitHub issue, but I don't think there was any fingers being pointed at you.
Oh god.
Maybe that's not the issue to be talking about this join us page in. Maybe we should create a new issue for the join us page.
If that's the one that this is linking to, then that was my mistake. That wasn't supposed to be the one that was here in the comms call.
Okay.
I don't think. Unless, does that say either or and or? I just can't even open another tab. This computer is not.
I know how you feel.
There were 2 GitHub issues that Danny Bell shared. One was like the FAQ is lying, and the other one was the one I think that I was trying to post in, and it's the one that made reference to this either make the join.giveth blah 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 or do this or do that was written in the description.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that is in her comments down below on that issue.
Okay, yeah, so maybe that is the one I meant to put. Could input creating a project video, create a project page at the top. Donate video.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should make a new issue just for the community page and how to change it, the join us page.
Yeah, I agree. I just found an issue, but it's like a super old issue and it has no information. Number 22.
Ooh.
Back in the day.
Oh no, it's 22 in Giveth Planning, so it's like, oh no, 6 months ago. Nope. Update join info in wiki and homepage. It's in the icebox, so we could like take over this issue.
Okay, yeah. Can you post that in this agenda here?
Oh, I just posted in the chat. I can post it in the
agenda.
agenda.
Okay, no, that works.
So then I heard, like if we were to add another tab, I think Mitch suggested like let's either do the wiki or do the docs. I mean, do you guys feel like one is more appropriate than the other, or like my suggestion would be to have like a resources tab, and from there they can navigate, like it's just resources and then you hover over and the sub tab is wiki and it takes you right to the wiki page, or
But
docs.
I don't know if the wiki's still being updated.
Oh, okay.
It's so outdated. Like everything
Okay.
in there is so outdated and pretty geared towards Giveth trace.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the docs is that we're working on constantly, and it's for Giveth.io.
Docs is definitely the better choice.
And then like within there, we can just keep on adding stuff. Like we can have all of our media resources, everything in there, our branding, style guides.
Cool.
Did we really, like, Ashley and Mitch, you guys were saying that you don't want to have any like drop downs from the top menus? Like you wouldn't want to have it be like resources and then a drop down menu, or
Yeah, I think that would be fine. I just didn't want the whole top of the screen to be like boom, boom, like all the different things.
Oh, then theoretically we could do community, then like about us, join us.
I'd be interested to see what Marco would say.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What it would look like.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So, yeah.
I'm personally in favor of the cleaner look, like without the drop-down menus, but maybe he's got like a really good solution.
I can talk to Marco about it. I just want to have like all of our different ideas kind of in one place before I go to him. So we would ask him what his design suggestion is for making some of our resources like the docs.
I kind of like, I like the drop down menu thing. I find that like this bottom section of the page where there's just like so much stuff is like, I don't know. On websites, I almost always ignore it. So
yeah, me too.
I'm the opposite. I always like go there first because I know that that's where you find contact us. That's where you find like all the like things. So I don't know.
Ashley's an outlier though.
She's got the hacks.
Yeah.
I go there if I can't find something easily, but like I usually prefer, I like drop downs because it keeps it clean and simple, but then I'm obviously able to find what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can send like both, you know, different options to Marco and just see what he thinks. I think that's the best way to go. Cool. Anything else around the website that I should track before I reach out to him?
I mean, what else would go under resources besides docs?
The how-to videos.
Okay.
And like maybe also if we had like any super informative Medium articles or something, like there could be like a widget or something that shows them. We might have more things that come out in the future, like, you know, maybe there was like a live stream that was super informative and we could put like an embed of that and then like a little description or something. One day maybe there's like an ebook. I mean, not saying these things exist, but just kind of like there are a lot of different types of resources.
If I go kind of just based on what I see on most of these other websites, there's usually one tab that is like the Git book or the resource hub. And then from there, you're going to have all your tutorials and all your guides and all your media kit and everything. So that's going to be like one separate piece.
Yeah.
So I think that's really what's missing here. And then that can kind of be all encompassing.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I feel like our Notion might be a good place for that kind of thing.
What do you mean?
I think it's kind of, I haven't been to it a while, but I wonder if it's too overwhelming.
Like someone clicks resources and it just takes them to our Notion?
No, but keeping the resources within Notion and then having it linked to Notion in the places where that's at.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you guys think? Like, I guess for me, docs is not like so clear. Like, what are the docs? I like calling it resources or calling it like something that's more obvious what these docs are.
Yeah, resources seems fine. I mean, the actual URL itself is docs.giveth, and
Gotcha.
I can't really change it, but yeah,
Gotcha.
resources does make more sense.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Magenta, I see you joined. How's it going?
I am. Sorry, I am late. It is going well.
Nice. We kind of took a look at the website and did like a little jam on, what do we think? How do we like the flow? Is there anything we would like adapt or improve? And mostly we were saying that we do like the flow and we want to keep it simple, but like we identified a couple little places where we could update the content and talking about making some of our resources more easily able to navigate to. Do you have any other input around the website, Magenta?
The only thing I noticed recently was that when I went to sort by, what did I sort by? When I went to sort by, oh, it was rating, which looks like it's not on there anymore. So
I wonder if this is the thing that Danny brought up. She was saying something about, when she was like sorting projects, it was only sorting what was visible on the page, not like all of the projects, so things were getting missed.
Oh, wow,
This is
how
a
did you
dev
figure
issue.
that out? That
Yeah,
makes sense.
Mateo is working on it.
Yeah, we're just mostly discussing around the website, like as far as communicating things to people about Giveth. Is there
Did you
anything that
guys
we would
make a
wanna change?
decision at all about that that feedback we got from like someone who's totally new to blockchain? They'd be like, "What? I don't get how to even set up a wallet."
Yeah, we were gonna make some how-to videos about it. I talked to Calvin about helping us make videos, and he was like, not available until after.
I mean, it's in the docs. Like it's there, the links are all there. It's like how to get a MetaMask, and then it takes you to the MetaMask website, how to like everything, So I think maybe just making it clear for like how to get people there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then like the how-to video can be like embedded right into our documentation, like how to get MetaMask, how Taurus works.
And you can make a how-to video. I forget the name of the but there are all these softwares for like recording a demo of a product where you can just grab your screen share as you walk through it and kind of narrate over it.
Nice. That's
What do you
interesting.
guys-
Well, maybe.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Magenta, if you find those resources, or if you have anything in particular, could you send it to me? Because then I could do that much easier.
Yeah, I'll look them up right now.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I like your idea, mentioned. Maybe that can be something that also with this, like what we're talking about with this like website tab redesign, it could be like, I don't know, learn more, or like learn home community projects, learn, or something. I don't know. And then like under that, there could be like a new to crypto, or like something that indicates like to a newbie where to go. Like a much clearer path,
Like how to get started or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if we do the resources tab, that could be one of the drop down options, like how to get started, and it just links directly to that thing. I don't know.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Mitch, I noticed in the chat, like 10 minutes ago, you wrote, I have a couple issues before we wrap up this call. Were there any others that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah. I didn't actually see this document, so I didn't get to add anything into the agenda, but
Let me ping a link.
well, I have it here now.
Okay. Yeah, it was at the top of the agenda, but maybe if you joined after I posted it, you didn't see it.
Anyway, yeah, so this is not related to anything that we just talked about here, but I was looking at the autopilot and I wanted to add in some more emails that we launch, and that's like after project creation. So following up like 3 months later, 6 months later, etc., and like nudging project creators to like, you know, update their projects or like what's going on with it. So need to write those emails, I guess, and then being able to plug them into the autopilot event that already exists. I saw the stuff that you posted, Lauren, so it's like it looks pretty straightforward to make the emails. But then that's just something that was on my radar that I need to get done or somebody needs to get done.
I'm willing to help with that outreach stuff.
Cool. Like it's not hard, but I was just thinking of like our email flows on autopilot and like how we can build on it a bit more. So that was one thing there. And the next is we're coming up on when we said we would start the Changemaker campaign. I think we said mid-April, so that's next week. I'm just checking in if that seems like a good time with like everything happening with givebacks, or should we wait a bit?
I'm not the authority, but I feel like it's... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, from my perspective, I feel like it's still great to go ahead with that. I don't think that we have, you know, all the content that we need to like be announcing givebacks yet. So I think next week, starting with the Changemaker campaign is still a great idea and keeps like the momentum and buzz going.
Yeah, but like we said we were going to give this a month. I think that was the original thing that we said. So like my thing is that if we start it next week and it runs for a full month, is that going to like get lost?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, cool. So I guess the next conversation to have is the implementation. Like if we want to launch this by Wednesday or before the weekend next week, like what are the steps we need to do?
The social change maker campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
That's on Twitter, right?
Publishing that as
Everywhere.
an article on Medium, right?
Yeah, just like a full blast, you know.
I think you should publish it as an article on Medium, and then I think we should do like a really well thought through like tweet thread, you know,
Yeah,
like that's like longer, more exhaustive, and has like a lot more information. And then and we can all be like retweeting it, and then we should like what they do in the comment section, which is cool, is they create like a GitHub issues where they have like a distribution. Oh, you probably know, Mitch, because I think one was like about yours, but maybe you didn't do the distribution. But it's just like checkboxes, so it's like blasted in all our partner channels, and like yeah, so like they're relevant discords, and then so we can brainstorm like a list, and then make an exhaustive list, and then like just check it off as we go. And so you publish the Medium article, we publish the Twitter thread, and then we like share and shill in like all the places that we can, and then I think following up with like retweeting, resharing, like people as they submit projects or whatever, then doing the same kind of thing. So it's like maybe not spamming every channel every single time, but like at least putting tweets every time the new project is added. And yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to, that's really good idea, Lauren. So I'm gonna update the GitHub issue and I'll make some checklists for it.
Yeah, I can send you some examples too, the issues that I was looking at.
Yeah, I remember them now that you mentioned them. I'm like, yes, okay, perfect. So then I'll do that, and then like we're saying before next weekend. So like Wednesday, Thursday, something like that, ideally.
Yeah, that feels good.
And like the documentation is already done. Like I wrote a post. I'm probably gonna look at it Sunday and like update it. We can do another round of QA, hopefully quickly. We have our hashtags already.
Yeah.
So like that's it. And then the other thing we need to have a conversation about is like once we start getting stuff, like what do we do with it? Because we're gonna have to make more content as we receive submissions.
Where are the submissions being made at? Like, are people submitting it on Twitter? Or are they submitting it in our Discord? Or
that was the other thing I think that we never fully got around to. because we're going to use the hashtag, and then people were kind of like free to express it whoever they wanted. And like, what were the ideas around it? Like emails, or they could just respond on Twitter, or like what makes sense?
I think Twitter is a great idea because it will bring a lot more just eyes to our Twitter account and more interaction with our Twitter account and connections between other Twitter accounts. Whereas I think if they just did it in Discord, it's closed to the world's eyes. Whereas like everybody who's surfing on Twitter would see all these different people getting involved, and they could sort it by that hashtag and see everything that's under that one hashtag.
Yeah, and like we want to give them the most options possible for themselves to get exposure and for them to express themselves. So like if they can have links, images, videos, all that stuff. So Twitter was like a really good obvious choice. And as well, we'll put it on Reddit. We have a Reddit, we'll put it there, and we can also get stories. I don't know if Medium allows that kind of interaction. I don't think so. Huh?
I think people can
like
only
text
comment.
Yeah, but it's really funny because your comments are actually like stored as stories. They're like response stories. You can see, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. You can see like people's authored, like you can have them posted also to their profile and they comment to reply, which can be like a whole post.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, but I think it's
attach
confusing and I don't think, huh?
Would they be able to like attach a video or something to their comment? Or
Yeah, I think you can like comment to people's posts in whole posts. Like I could like make a 10-minute long read with embedded videos as a comment to your post. And then I could share that, like it could be shared like to my profile as a story that I publish as well. But I don't know how often people use this. I don't know. Medium's a whole new world for me.
Yeah. So does
but I noticed
Twitter and Reddit seem like the obvious choices then?
Yeah.
Because
And I think
Reddit, at least I can put it in all different subreddits and like put it everywhere.
Yeah, totally.
See how much reach we get.
I think as our main focus, that's good. And like we can link to the Medium article, you know, for people seeing like the whole nitty gritty details about the campaign, but actually keeping the conversation more on Twitter and Reddit.
And I also think this is going to give us a really good view of what our reach is and like what we're, you know, it'll give us a scope of like what our best avenues are to get some of this stuff out there and going forward in the future. And like I think we can learn a lot from this campaign.
Cool. So I guess we got a pretty clear idea of what we need to do for the next week around that. I'm going to make the GitHub issue with the checklist. And then what we should think about is after this is launched, how we want to go about writing the content for the submissions. Something to think about just for until next week.
Wait, what do you mean the content for the submissions? Like,
well, because the thing is like they're giving us their stories, and then we're saying that we're going to promote them, right? So that's kind of the incentive, right? You know.
Right. So people are sharing their stories as tweets or as Reddit posts.
Whatever they choose.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, this story, oh, that story, this seems really cool. And then like we're inviting to make the project on Giveth, and like we're saying like, oh, we'll feature your story, you know.
And something like, is it a requirement for them to make their project on Giveth to be considered like a full submission?
I don't see what we get out of it if they don't, but
yeah,
I don't.
And is there any way for us to track like, oh, this new project that was added was from the Changemaker campaign? It'll be because they've tagged the hashtag and they've mentioned their project, you know, in relation to the hashtag for the Changemaker campaign, that we can then flag like, oh, okay, cool, this project on Giveth is the same that they're talking about.
I think it'd be cool to maybe do like a weekly or bi-weekly blog post that features each of the stories like within one like Medium article, and we just do like a little blurb about each one and links to their projects and kind of what they're up to. And that's like, you know, depending on how many submissions we get, maybe we do it weekly, maybe we do it bi-weekly, and then we can also share that to Twitter and Reddit, and that will be where they're featured.
Yeah, I think that's the best. I was going to suggest the same thing. I think it's a really good idea.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
But like, do we have like some sort of like ranking or filtering system. So it's like we're not just featuring just any project that people post in, but we're sharing like ones that are nice to share.
I don't think there's like a ranking system between ourselves. I think that's more of a discussion we'll have like as we come across them. It depends
like,
on how many stories we get. Like if we get hundreds, like, you know, but it's just like it's a short campaign. It's 1 month. And so like,
right.
We'll see what happens.
Cool.
Yeah, I think
like
I said, it's going to be good for learning going forward, like how, you know, what kind of impact we can have and what kind of submissions we can create or receive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like, you know, depending on how many submissions we get, not only does it impact the frequency, but also like the length of the promo that we give for them. So like Mitch said, if there's hundreds, then we'll just do like a small, you know, like 2-sentence blurb on each one in that article from the week. And then if we have less, we can go into more detail.
Yeah. It's hard to make a decision about it now because we have no idea.
Right. It's kind of like funny. It's like we're like doing this thing, but we're jumping in the dark. We're jumping in the swimming pool. It's all dark. We have no idea what's in there.
I mean, nothing bad will happen. We'll be fine.
Right. It's a swimming pool. Like whatever.
Just bring your water wing.
Yeah.
I want to cross-post this campaign intermittently throughout it and probably make a blog post on Bloom Network too. And like cross-post Giveth's Twitter to Bloom some throughout this, because this is in line with the kind of the partnership here of like, it's like mutually synergistic of us helping more people see the amazing projects happening every day around the world. So just that'll help it give it a little bit more lift.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Really good. I guess just like, so Mitch, I remember there were like a few questions though. So like my last question concern thing is like, if people are sharing their projects like to us via Twitter, it's like really limited in the amount of content that they can kind of share as like how they're making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Have like only
so are you saying that there should be a different way that they can share their story? There wasn't like, the thing we wrote didn't really have any specific criteria. Like maybe their tweet just has like a link to their project that already has a website, you know?
Or like a video they record themselves talking about it.
Oh my God, but it's just, you know, I'm just afraid of it becoming extremely disorganized and us getting like all kinds of like various like levels of quality and also just like various means of getting this contact from different projects. And then how are we going to like organize that and actually like do the featuring we say we're going to do? Yeah.
Can we require it as like, you know, them adding their project on Giveth and require that they, in the description of their project, they're talking about, like that, like that's where they're putting the meat and potatoes of the impact and like the for good stuff they're doing.
I think it'll depend on the language we use in the stuff that we're publishing, like the campaign launch announcement.
Well, also the thing is like if they don't give us very much information, we can't really feature them very well. So it'll be the difference of them getting like a fuller featured section of the Medium post compared to those who only give us a couple sentences with things and we can just write like, you know, a small little thing. I don't think that we necessarily have to like go into depth about each and every project, especially if they don't have much content to provide us.
You're right, Lauren?
Yeah, sorry, someone's cawing at me like from outside, and I'm like, what is who's this? But anyway, I'm gonna ignore it. But yeah, I think
Mambo.
It could be. I was just thinking, I mean, I don't know. I really want them all to go to like one or maybe two places and then to have like a clear structure. So like in the campaign when you post it, like be like, post your project on Giveth, share via Twitter or Reddit. Be sure to tag us at Giveth blah 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 or your project and also with this hashtag or else your project won't be noticed. And then so it's like the projects must meet that like criteria and then people are free to like tweet about their projects in like a full tweet thread. You could say that too. Like add as much information as you can about what you're doing in your tweet thread and we'll like retweet or quote tweet our favorites or something, you know?
Okay. Well, yeah, then let's think about that and like we'll update the launch post with maybe some more clear criteria.
Yeah. And we had our hashtag decided already, right? It was
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, just maybe the
Give it for
language
change?
that we use to like enforce it a bit more, be like, you need to have this hashtag, or if we decide that people need to make a project, then like make it clear, you know?
Yes.
I'm not sold on like making them have to have a project on Giveth, you know?
Why?
I don't know, I just don't like it like you must make a project.
That's the point. How are people going to give to them if their project's not up on Giveth?
True.
I think
True.
a lot of them will want to make a project, but also I think that the campaign was geared, at least when August first talked about it, was geared more towards just like sharing stories of people doing good in the world and less about necessarily like Giveth projects that they created. You know, it was more so just like a small little thing of people just like, you know, sharing a little like video of themselves and what they're doing or like what they're involved in or, you know, something like that. So I don't know. I can kind of see both sides.
I feel like one is like, yay, we love people, which is good, but then the other one is like, yay, we love people, and we're part of Giveth. Giveth is what we're doing. So like,
okay, all right. Well, yeah, I'm open to making it a requirement. Then that's fine. Like, yeah. So you need a hashtag. You need to make a Giveth project, and
share your Giveth project, and like then add whatever other content like video or post.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. I'll just post it there. Like I'm gonna change the document a little bit there, but I think it might already exist somewhere in the GitHub. A link to the draft. It's definitely in the Google Drive folder.
Cool.
Yeah,
When you
there's
tag
an
us for
issue,
reviewing,
I think, in GitHub under
What's
the
that?
planning repo.
Yeah, but don't review it because I haven't touched it in like a month. So
yeah, but I mean, like when you're ready, can you tag us? And because I'd love to review it and add some comments or whatever.
Okay.
Also, we can mention something that, you know, that we can like help them create their project, you know, like if they're having a hard time or something. I don't know. Like I'm willing to help people and project owners like go through the flow if they're having problems. I already have a meeting with somebody later today that gave us feedback that was unable to like make their project, so I'm going to help and like walk her through the process and like, you know, so we can offer assistance to them too if the hard part is creating the project.
Okay.
Is one of you in the Bloom Network Discord?
Yeah, I think many of us.
Because there's a whole bunch of projects in there, including local Blooms, but they tend to know like a bunch of projects in their region, and there's some people who aren't local Bloom leaders in there too. It's probably better coming from one of you guys than me. If you want to post in there, that's probably also a good place to like find relevant projects and then mention like to, you know, it's good if they put it on Giveth too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe Mitch, you can add that to the distribution thing. Okay, yeah, it is past the top.
Yeah, and I can also take that into consideration with outreach and everything too.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the notes here that I can see Forrest is writing, and then I'm just gonna fill it all out in the GitHub issue and put it on my to-dos.
Okay.
Thanks, Mitch.
Perfecto. Awesome. Yeah, I've taken a bunch of notes in here. Anything else that isn't already a GitHub issue, I will be sure to add it in. We're already 8 minutes past, but I just want to give a moment if anyone has any closing thoughts or anything else that they want to kind of like note to include in our next agenda. Okay, I just hear beautiful birds and cicadas, so I think we're good. Awesome, thanks so much. I feel like this was a good jam. And yeah, if you need me at all, please ping me on Discord. Happy to review and edit things. And yeah, like I said, I'll be adding some GitHub issues in. Much love, everyone. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you, Forrest. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Ciao.
You too.